Hello everyone, it's Truth Fairy here, and as you can see I'm sat with my best friends, the A-Bats, just hovering around, not really doing much and enjoying their little silly sounds that they're making. And today I'm just going to be talking about some of the event ideas that I've had. It's nothing particularly sensational, but hopefully it will open up new opportunities within the server. People will be able to have a nice good time. We'll all have some fun and get some prizes involved. It won't be anything really spectacular at this moment in time because I'm still relatively new, so I don't have loads to offer, but I should be able to help particularly new players to earn a little bit of money and just to help you get your feet off the ground. So, with that being said, let's talk about a few of the ideas I had. Okay, so number one could be bringing me a bunch of quest items. This is a pretty obvious one, and I wouldn't have to do it too difficult. We could stick to lower levels to give everybody a chance, especially basically once you're level 15 plus you should be able to kill most of these in one hit, so I mean if I kill one of these guys over here, as you can see he drops a lot. I'm using a crystal brooch, I always muddle those two up. So I've got increased drop rates, so that will make it easier for some players than others, so I will bear that in mind. But at the end of the day, it's difficult to create an event that's absolutely perfect for everybody. And of course, even if I limited it to lower level players, we'd still have the issue of people making new characters and using those instead, and then they'd be winning the money and you haven't actually helped anyone new in the first place. So I'm just going to have to do what I can with that kind of thing and just see, what I can manage to put together and see if I can make anything work. So quest items could be level 1 to level 15. I could do a harder one which involves quest items from somewhere in Darkon 3 or, maybe even really unusual places. I don't know. But that's just one of the ideas I had in mind. And the second idea that I had could be involving some of these items. These items are pretty annoying. Memory shards, there's I think some other scrolls as well, stone piece of Flaris, things like that. Odd quest items that you'd normally have to get for a quest event. Particularly job change events, these are very common items you have to pick up or find. And basically just set a few of those, find a really odd one and challenge someone to bring it to me. And the first person to bring it to me will get a reward. We can do runners up as well. Things like that. Again, this is limited to people who have faster equipment, faster bikes and things like that. They're obviously going to have a bit of an advantage, and then equally people who already know where the items are will have an advantage. But I can try and keep it a little bit easy. Select items that people may have found recently, particularly with particular job quests like the Blade job quest, for example. A lot of people like to go Blade or Elemental job quest. But then again, if I pick really obvious ones, then loads of people are going to try and win. So it'll be hard, so I might just go with completely random quest items and just see how that goes. Another one that could keep you guys entertained and would be a little bit more for the higher levels or the medium levels would be to ask for a very specific drop item. This could be something like for example, a godly legendary golden axe or something like that, something really specific that you would have to pretty much go out there and hunt. This would just provide a little bit more entertainment and a little bit more seeking and just overall be a rather interesting experience. I mean, it could take 5 minutes, it could take even an hour if someone really struggles with the drops. I wouldn't make it too difficult, maybe something like uncommon or rare. That works a little bit better than the sky highs and items like that. But yeah, I think it could just add an extra dimension to the hunting aspect, and it all just leads on from the same sort of concept. Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Habbo Hotel. This was a game I played back when I was, 12, 11. Just a stupid little website where you could create your own character and hop into a server which was basically a chat room. But one game that really stood out to me that most people on the servers actually created was a game where you had to dress up as a certain item or person, and the person who dressed up like them the best won a prize. I was thinking we could do something similar in this game because you've got the obvious option of fashion, But it doesn't have to be limited to the fashion items, it can also involve the hairstyling, the makeup, and even just armor sets as well, and weapons. I was often thinking about ideas of dressing up people as pineapples and things like that. Creativity would take you a long way, especially if you were particularly experimental with the items you could buy. There would be a time limit, just to prevent people from spending a ridiculously long amount of time looking up the right items. It's more about your general knowledge on fashion and armor and just going for it. I really want to try and avoid events like this because there are going to be very obvious, blatant advantages and disadvantages, but if we really struggle to come up with ideas for events, this could be an option. The Rainbow Race was originally a game in the original Fly where people would race each other on their flying equipment. Of course, it's going to be a lot harder in this game because with the amount of accessible items, it's just difficult to give everyone a chance. Most people are going to unfortunately have an item that's going to get there the quickest, which is really frustrating. However, like I said, if we really struggle for ideas, this could work as an option. You're probably noticing a bit of a trend in the ideas that I'm having, mostly items being brought to me, but another idea that I had was to hatch an egg and bring me specifically for example, a D-class pet with a specific level. This can be quite a challenge, but there are certain ways. For example, bringing me a fox with D level 2, for example. This could work really well because the chances of getting level 1s and level 2s are reasonable, and even level 3s and level 4s aren't all that awful to try and get hold of, but I would probably prefer to avoid the level 3s and 4s because we could be there for a very long time. But having said this, it's just another idea I had for an event, and it could work as a possibility. Now, the most important part of this video really at this point is for me to hear from you guys. I really want to see what you think of my ideas, and if you've got any more, I'd love to hear them. I'm a one-man band at this point, and it would really help me if you guys could throw some ideas into the pot, and we'll hopefully have ourselves a nice little event soup, I guess? I think that works. So yeah, the other part that I want to talk about is staying in touch. Of course, as I am not a helper or GM or anything like that, I can't really work against the sea of shouts to try and publicize an event like this. So what would work best for you? Would forum posts work best for you? Or would something like a Facebook page where I can set up an actual event with reminders help you even more? Just let me know again in the comments below what would work best for you, and hopefully I can listen to everybody and their requests and we can get something sorted. It would be really good fun to get something set up like this. The other part, finally, is just about prizes. Prizes will only be low amounts of parent and maybe some items, just things to get mostly newbie players off their feet. If you aren't a new player and you've won, I'll hopefully try and get some parents to you. Otherwise, if you're a new player, you're more likely to get something that's useful, functional, and helpful. This could include buff pets that I've created myself, just like dogs and cats, doggies and kitties, I think. Just to help you guys out, maybe some beads as well, like XP beads, drop beads, things like that. It won't be anything wildly exciting, but I think the most important thing to remember is just taking part is good old fun, and you'll make some new friends in the process. So this has been Truth Fairy, I hope this has been fun, and yeah, let me know. Bye!